Okay, we're looking at the anterior surface of the inferior portion of the digestive system that's been removed from the torso model. So up at the top in the superior area, we've got the pancreas. So the stomach would be sitting here, but that's been removed. And you can see the main pancreatic duct moving through that. That will join with the green tube that's in the background called the common bile duct. And those will eventually move their substances into the beginning of the small intestine right here, which is called the duodenum. The small intestines continue down in this area. The middle portion that you see would actually be the second portion of the small intestine, which is called the jejunum. And then the last portion, or the third portion of the small intestine, is called the ileum. That will eventually end in the lower right quadrant. And that is going to empty its substances into the large intestine at the ileocecal valve. The beginning of the large intestine in the lower right quadrant has a pouch called the cecum, and then the contents are going to move up the colon through the ascending colon. There's a little corner here called the hepatic flexure, and then contents will move across through the transverse colon, and then down here on this side you can see part of the descending colon on the left side. You can also see this membrane that covers the intestines, which is called the greater omentum. All right, we're going to look at the posterior surface of the inferior digestive structures that are taken out of the torso model. And so we'll start up at the top. This granular structure is called the pancreas. And you'll notice several structures here that you need to know. In purple, we have the hepatic portal vein. And then in green, you have the common bile duct. The common bile duct will have an opening that goes into this portion of the small intestine. And that opening has a muscle called the hepatopancreatic sphincter. This beginning of the small intestine is called the duodenum. You can see circular folds in the surface there. And then the small intestine continues on. This membrane that you see with blood vessels that holds the intestines together is called mesentery. And then you can see the posterior surface of a lot of the colon or large intestine. Over on this side, we are going to have the ascending colon. And down at the very bottom, you have a pouch called the cecum. Coming off of the cecum, you can see the appendix, the vermiform appendix, or just appendix. Moving over to this side, on the left side, you can see the descending colon, and that moves into an S-shaped portion of the colon called the sigmoid colon, and then that ends in the fecal storage pouch called the rectum.